Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 15 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it, and to the middle at the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30, oh, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh!
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to ShawnSierraSports. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to YouTube. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Man. You can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, that's CHI, at Sports Zone Shy. And if you want to follow me, just me, personally online. Want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Man, I got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. And like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it, just bring it. Man, let's check the chat because the chat is jumping already. That's what I'm talking about. Black Diamond getting in early. That's what I'm talking about, Papa. It's the top of the morning. Because that's what happens when you come to the real mecca of baseball and try to shit on it. You get belt to ass the very next day. Hey, I think the Cubs are stupid and their fans are a little slow. But that was an ass whooping. That was a straight up old-fashioned ass whooping they put on yesterday. And how many homers? None. Oh, was it just one homer? I think it was one homer. Dude, that was insane. Just one homer. Who hit the homer? Just Suzuki. That's insane. One homer and 11 runs. That shows you how well-rounded that team is. They put up an 11 spot, and only one home run. It was a solo shot. It wasn't a 2-run or 3-run shot. It was a solo shot. It was already 10-0. This team is definitely a formidable squad. It hurts every being in my soul to say that. But I keep it a buck with you. You know what I mean? I keep it a buck. Mr. Short A, he's at the top of the morning to you. Mr. Short A, what's up, Papa? Hey, he also says, hope you had a safe and fun holiday weekend. I did. Hope everyone else did. Hope you didn't have any Juan Pierre Paul situations. That would stink. Okay, no JPP situations. Rick Gonzalez checking in, says, good morning, Shawn, and RIP Bobby Jenks. FGB, I agree with you. All of them. Good morning. The good morning sentiments. The RIP to Bobby Jenks, and especially FGB. I think he meant to say saludos. My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. He says, Rick, he's got fat fingers. He hit the D instead of the S. Saludos, FGB. You're damn right, baby. That's the way to start the week. Sean Walls in the house. Good morning on the House Music Monday, and thanks to SuperBack for the birthday wish yesterday. No problem, Papa. I appreciate it, man. That was a disrespectful ass whooping. It was one of those times where you ever see a little kids game and it's just like, okay, we just got to get one more out so we can call the game, and the team just keeps scoring runs. Like, damn, we just need just get one more out and the game's over. They're up 12. They're up 14. The Cubs are on a mission. I'll tell you what, much as I can't stand them jokers in their fan base, they are on a mission. They seem locked the hell in right now. Locked in. And going into the All-Star break, that is a good thing. Good thing. Because the Cubs are 7-3 in their last 10 games. All right, 7-3 in their last 10 games. Second best record in the National League, behind Los Dodgers. Second best record. But the fourth best record in baseball. Yeah. There's only a couple teams hotter than them. As I said, 7-3. A couple other teams were 7-3. Seattle. Detroit sucks. Detroit. Miami. There's a couple 8-2 teams. The Trash Tros. I hate Houston. And the hottest team in baseball, who's coming to the South Side. Oh, boy. The Toronto Blue Jays are 9-1 in their last 10 games and are on an 8-game winning streak. Wow. Oof. Yeah. Levette Lee checking in. What's up, how much? It's Happy House Music Monday, y'all. Happy House Music Monday. Black Diamonds is in a serious note. Rest up 45 gone too soon. Man, I'll tell you about it, dude. That's tough, bro. That's tough. Man. Luis Mejia in the house. Good morning, Papa. Says, good morning, Rise and Grind, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Luis. Hope you had a good fourth. And kept all your fingers, unlike Jason Pierre-Paul. Hey, listen, we got a great show for you at 9:30. My man Emilio Bucks is going to come on. We're going to talk a little baseball. We're going to talk about number 45, big right-hander, gone way too soon due to cancer. And, yeah, it was sad. We knew he'd been having issues. All right. And we just didn't want to face the day, all right, that he would be gone so soon. 44? Man. Rick, you're a damn fool. JPP walking around with the shocker on his right hand. I don't even know if he got the shocker, bro. I think he lost 3 fingers. He might be doing it hang 10. Hey, I don't think he got the shocker, Rick. He got the hang 10. Let's go surfing, dude. Oh man. You know what? Let me now you got me curious. How many fingers did JPP lose in the fireworks incident? He lost 2.5 fingers. Hang loose with a nub. Hang loose with a nub. Oh my goodness, you guys are killing me. Getting started so early. I love it. I love it. Yes, that's at 9:30. Emilio Bucks at 10 o'clock. A good friend of mine, Jose Big-Z Zuazo from 606 Media is going to join us. We're going to talk kind of all sports. All right. He hosts True Chicago Sports Fan podcast. We're going to probably talk a little White Sox, a little Bulls, definitely some Bears. So that's at 10 o'clock. So we definitely have a great show for you. And I can't wait to get it started, get it crack-a-lacking. All right. I hope you guys had a beautiful weekend, a fun weekend. Mine was eventful. Let me just say that. All right. I got up to Wisconsin on Friday. I went up to see Chicago, the band. And let me tell you, man, it was everything that I anticipated and had hoped for. All you older folks, you know the band Chicago. They got about a boatload of hits. They pretty much ran through all of them. They went off. They exited, and then they came back for an encore, and they did one song, and then in 25 and 6-2 and 624 was their last song of the night, and the place was rocking. It was great. Tell you, Milwaukee, you don't owe me a damn thing after that trip, boy. I was happy as a pig in slop. That was one of the groups I wanted to see because they're a group. All right, they got the brass, they got the bands, they got the trumpets, they got the tuba, they got the whole nine. It was awesome. It's real music back in the day growing up. Listen to my mom and my aunts would listen to that stuff. And yes, I said FGB. Rick, I did say FGB when I was up there. You want to hear something really funny? So as soon as I'm taking that 294 up there, as soon as 294 turns to 94. As soon as I cross the cheese curtain, if you've ever been, I'm sure you've been in Wisconsin. It has a little on the right hand side of the road. It has the state of Wisconsin. This is welcome to Wisconsin. And as soon as we got in there, I'm like, FGB. And I thought of you, dog. It's only twice, bro. I'll get chastised. Rick said, you've been spending too much time up north, fool. Hey, someone's got to class up the joint up there, all right? As a good Catholic, we got to help the less fortunate. Isn't that what the Bible says? Help the less fortunate? I had to class up the joint up there. True that. You guys are killing me. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But that was cool. They had a birthday party, cousin's little girl. She turned 6. And then I had a block party to go to. And yesterday I just chilled. Whew, chilled. So I had a good 4th. Hope you guys had a good 4th. It's making memories, right? Because unfortunately, yesterday we did a workout for our good friend Maricela Lopez, who passed away. I think I may have told you last week. One of our 5 a.m. groups, the AMer was in a car accident. She passed away last Saturday, and so we did a memorial workout for her yesterday. And what was really cool was over 50 people showed up for that workout. That was the most people I've ever seen in CrossFit Warehouse at one time in my life. In the 6 years that I've been going there, most people, it was crazy. And it was, you know what I tell you? Let your loved ones know you love them because tomorrow's promised to no one. Man, truer words were never spoken. And it was just a great memorial to her. We were all in shock last week. And we just celebrated her. All right. She She's a ball buster. I mean, we talk shit to each other at 5 a.m. in the morning, you know, and it was great. She was a phenomenal woman. Great friend. And just sad whenever you lose good people. You know, not that I ever wish anyone to die, but how come some of these assholes are still walking around? Okay? If I'm not advocating for anyone to die, but if God ever said, hey, do you have any recommendations? I got a whole list of recommendations of people for you. Stop taking the good ones. You know what I mean? She was 47 years old. 47 years old and gone way too soon. So I spent yesterday. So it was an eventful weekend for me. Kind of ran the gamut of emotions yesterday. I mean, all weekend. Happy up to see Chicago. Been a little sad yesterday, you know, in remembrance of our friend that we lost at CrossFit. So, but I had a good weekend. And I hope you guys did too. Man, Shawn, you ain't lying. He says life is getting shorter every day. Because, man, for most of us, we have a lot more years, a lot more days behind us than we do in front of us. A lot more days behind us than we do in front of us. Because I'd have to live to 108. Probably not going to live that long. So, but anyway, guys, let's get it cracking. Guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Yeah, let's see. Which way do we go? 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 Let's see. Here we go. The Cubs. All right, Cub fans, relax. I'll never say I don't talk about you guys. The Cubs open up a can of whoop ass on that candy ass. Woo! Cubs beat the Cardinals 11-0. All-Star reserve Boyd was on the bump. He got the win. He's 9-3 on the season. He went 5 innings, 3 hits of shutout baseball, 1 free pass, 9. You've been absent from school 9 times, Mrs. Bueller. 9 times. 9 strikeouts for Matthew Boyd in his 9th win of the season. Seiya Suzuki 2 for 5 with a double, his 22nd of the season. He also hit a dinger, his 25th of the year, driving in his 76th and 77th runs of the year. Nico Horner was 3 for 4 with a double, his 18th, and a triple, his 2nd of the season, driving in his 37th run of the season. And Kyle King Tuck started in the All-Star game in left field. He's 1 for 2 with 3 RBIs, 53, 54, and 55 on the season. Speaking of that, the Cubs All-Stars are as follows. Kyle Tucker is going to be in left field. PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong is going to be in center field. And Matthew Boyd was named a reserve. And, man, he came out on fire yesterday for you guys. You saw a shutout ball for 5. Good stuff. Good stuff for you guys. Keeping it moving. The next top of the morning topic, man, my White Sox. Whew, that was a rough one. The White Sox, they fell to the Colorado Rockies 6-4. They took the series, but I wanted to sweep. They took the series 2 games to 1, but I wanted to sweep. And, yeah, Shane Smith was on a bump yesterday. He got the loss. Maybe he was too hyped up from the news pregame. He got the loss. He's 3-7 on the season. He went 4 1/3, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 punch-outs. Chase Maedroff was 1 for 2 with 1 for 4 with a double, his 6th, driving in his 11th ribby of the year. Colson Montgomery, after getting his first hit the day before, he was 2 for 3 yesterday, driving in his 2nd RBI of the season. And Mike Tauchman was 2 for 5 with an RBI, his 16th of the year. It was a battle of the worst. The 2 worst teams in baseball, and the White Sox took them to 2 games to 1. They should have had it, but that 5th inning, everything unraveled, and it was, man, all downhill from there. He couldn't come back from it, Shane Smith. And unfortunate. We needed a sweep. All right. We needed a sweep. That would have been perfect. All right. But unfortunately, we weren't able to get that. And what I was talking about, Shane. You got that one, Steve-O? The Shane Smith? Shane Smith flyer?
As we know, the All-Star game is around the corner, and we have a selection. We know how big of an honor it is to be named to the All-Star team, to go represent your teammates, your organization, your family, everything that you put into this game on the biggest stage is obviously a tremendous honor. All right, so with that, I'm extremely proud to announce the first rookie pitcher in White Sox history to be named to the All-Star team, Shane Smith. Congratulations, bro.
That was the news he got prior to the game. Those clips courtesy of the Chicago White Sox. And then he went out and laid an egg. Shane Smith's having a rough couple of last couple of starts. I think the beginning of his season, where he had a 2-point ERA in the twos, got him that All-Star nod. But the last 3 or 4 games, he's been touched up for at least 5 earned runs. All right, but I'll tell you what, to have that honor is good. And hopefully he comes out of a slump, and hopefully other people pick up their level of play. You know what I mean? Hopefully other people pick up their level of play, and that'd be great. We got to start winning more series, okay? And maybe that inspires people. Maybe it does. Maybe that inspires people. Maybe seeing one of their teammates inspires people. Okay? And it should. It should. You know why? Because it shows you that even in a bad situation, baseball is the most individual team sport, in my opinion. Okay? You don't need anybody to score. All right, in football, wide receivers need a quarterback to throw. You need an offensive line to block. Okay? Basketball, okay, but they can still double team you and a whole bunch of things. But let me tell you what. It's just you and the pitcher. You and the defense, really, in baseball. So you can still have a good season in the midst of chaos. You don't believe me? Ask Andre Dawson. Won the MVP with the Cubs. I believe they finished in last place. Okay? You can have individual success in baseball despite the fact that the team isn't doing it. So hopefully that inspires their ability is better than what they're showing. He just brought up Colson Montgomery. This guy's been in the system for like 30 years, seems like. Great defensive play his first game up. He came up on Friday, July 4th. Great defensive play. I believe it was number 1 in the Sports Center's top 10 highlights. Sports Center's top 10. Got his first hit the next day. Man, you can be productive and use that. And I know every team has to have a representative. I get it. Doesn't mean that you can't use the selection of Shane Smith as motivation. Doesn't mean you can't do that. And I think that's what they should do. All right, because we have a lot of talented young players. Now they have something to strive for. And you can see he's a Rule 5. He's the first rookie White Sox pitcher ever to be named the All-Star. He's a Rule 5 guy. Like, nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted him. So that alone should be able to inspire his teammates. Say, hey, I can play better. Let me focus on my game because I can play at that. I should be able to play at that level or level that I believe that I can reach. You know what I mean? Because the more people on the Sox that play and get inspired and play to the max of their ability, better this team will be as the year goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. Real quick, the next top of the morning topic, man, this was a rough one. On Friday, July 4th, the big man himself, Bobby Jenks, 2005 World Series champion closer for the White Sox, passed away from cancer. He was over in Spain with, getting treatments and things like that over there, and he passed away at the age of 44. This was a guy who it wasn't common for relievers to be throwing 100 miles an hour. Okay, and he has some movement on it. We all remember Jeff Bagwell in the World Series when he blew that shit. It was good morning, good afternoon, good night. He was throwing 100, 101 mile an hour back before it was in vogue. And then he had that nasty hook. So if you're sitting there waiting for that 100 mile an hour fastball, here comes the hook. You're out leaning in front, and now you've got no power, and you're just stuck. He got the final out in the World Series, and it's a shame. It's unfortunate. You see a lot of the people. This is the 20th year. It's unfortunate. I believe next weekend they're having the reunion at Sox Park, and for him to be unable to make it. I know a lot of guys were hoping. I know he was hoping he at least would probably have been able to try and get there to celebrate. The Sox did something they hadn't done in 88 years, in 05, and he was a huge, huge part of it. So rest in peace, Bobby Jenks, from all of us Sox fans. Man, it was that 05 season was magical. Wire to wire, first place. That's what we're talking about, wire to wire. So, and then keeping up the last top of the morning topic before we go to break, White Sox welcome Blue Jays, the hottest team in baseball. 9-1 in their last 10 games. They're riding an 8-game winning streak. They're coming to the South Side for a 3-game set, not a 3-game set. What are you doing? See, when you got fat fingers. For a 3-game set. First pitch is at 6:40 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sportsnet or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. The probables for that game for Toronto, Jose Barrios, not Joss. I'm telling you, my goodness. Who's the guy who prints this? Get fired. Oh, never mind. That's me. Sorry. Jose Barrios, he's 4-3 with a 3.64 ERA, going up against Sean Burke, who's on a bump for the good guys. He's 4-7 with a 4.03 ERA. Listen, we're going to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my man's in them, Emilio Bucks, to the show. We're going to talk about number 45. Man, that's tough. Talk a little White Sox. All right, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
No, I don't know, though. I'm scared.
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
One thing about Bobby, I saw him throw first day of spring training. I said, this big man over there, like, who the hell is that? First day, throwing gas.
He gone gas. Scouts will tell you the best pure power in the majors comes out of the right arm of Bobby Jenks. It had him as high as 102.
And Bobby Jenks has tied a major league record, retiring 41 consecutive hitters. Unbelievable.
As a teammate, here's the best. Bobby earned his stripes. Ended up the last one on the mound in October that year.
You play for the love of the game, the joy of it. It's what I love to do. I'm playing to be a world champion. And that's what I wanted to do from the time I could pick up a baseball.
Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports and Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Chicago White Sox in honor of our big Bobby Jenks. I think Ozzie called. Man, that was crazy. And I don't know if you heard or paid attention. 41 straight batters. 41 straight batters. Do you realize that's 13 games he came in? 14 games, 13 and a half, 13 plus games. He came in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You had no shot in the ninth. 13 games. Well, 14. One probably got a little duck snort. 41 batters in a row as a reliever is amazing. Man, rest in peace, big dog. Wow. Hey, we're going to welcome my guy, Emilio Bucks. Man, good friend of the program from the Plunked podcast as well as the Bullspit podcast. You can find him on Twitter at ebuck75 as well. Let's bring him in, my man, Emilio Bucks. Emilio, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Yo, good morning, Shawn. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Good. How was your holiday weekend?
Pretty good, man. You know, just spent some time with the family. Saw a little fireworks, but stayed safely distanced from it. And
JPP, huh?
No, sir, not the kid. yeah, electricity and gunpowder are two things I'm very stay away from as much as possible. Yeah, absolutely, man. But enjoy a little baseball as well. But that's it, man. How about you?
I had a full weekend. Friday went up to Wisconsin to see Chicago. They were in concert up at Summerfest. Man, that was one of the best concerts.
Right, because they were just here last week at Ravinia. That's right.
Man, they were great concert. Then I had a couple parties to go to. My cousin's daughter had a pool party, so we hopped in the pool.
Nice.
And then I had a block party to go to, which was dope. And then yesterday we celebrated one of our CrossFitters who passed away last week suddenly in a car crash. So
condolences. That's terrible.
Thanks, bro. So I had a weekend of emotions. It ran the gamut from kind of sad.
Absolutely.
So it was a good weekend, man. But let's get talking to sports, man. We just coming out of the break. Bobby Jenks, you're him, man. And I mentioned 41 batters, and he only came in the ninth. I mean, a couple times in the eighth, but for the most part, that's 13. That's
Incredible.
13 games in a row. 1, 2, 3.
And he was throwing that gas back when it wasn't like. Now everybody throws the gas now, you know what I mean? But back then it was like, see a guy throwing over 100 like that was remarkable.
And then he had that nasty ass hook too. You're sitting down there, you're waiting for that fireball, and you're out in front, and all of a sudden it's a hook. You got no power, no nothing. He was one of a kind.
Yes, he was, man. Yes, he was. A sad day in the White Sox, sad weekend really in the White Sox organization, losing one of its former bright stars in Bobby Jenks, World Series champion. No matter what, he is forever a champion, and he's made his mark is indelible on this team, on this sport.
Yeah, it is. And man, I was sad. I was so sad to hear about it because, man, remember we hadn't won in 88 years, bro, and it was crazy.
Yeah, man, what a glorious time it was, right?
Who you telling? I remember it's out there, bro, that year. Dude, they were going like hotcakes. In the 06 season, I had the World Series one because when the World Series comes, MLB takes over, and they push us all the way back to Halstead. They're like, no, we're only –
right on.
But the following season – those shirts were selling like hotcakes, and it was just a great time. And then we had one up on the Cub fans. We were able to talk shit to them, which was awesome. It was just a great time.
It was, man. It was, man. So far away those days were, and hopefully we'll have some days like that down the road sometime.
Give me your thoughts on Colson Montgomery. Colson Montgomery finally came up on the 4th of July, his major league debut. Had a beautiful defensive snare in short left field. I believe it was number 1 on SportsCenter's top 10.
Yes,
got his first hit the next day. Got 2 hits yesterday. Got 2 ribbies over the weekend. Talk to me about this guy. Because there was actually some concern. Like, man, how are we going to get Colson up with Tim Anderson when Tim Anderson was still here? Like, how is he going to be able to come up in the majors because we still got TA? Talk to me about what you liked about Colson Montgomery over the weekend.
Well, unfortunately, TA kind of took care of that himself.
He goes, don't worry, guys, I got you.
Right. I'll make this decision easy for you. Don't worry, I got it. I'm gonna go pick this fight with Jose Ramirez
and lose,
get the talent knocked out of me somehow. But anyway, Tim's still my boy, man, and I wish him the best. But yeah, man, finally got a chance to see Colson Montgomery in the bigs, and he delivered, man. He looked comfortable at the plate. He looked comfortable. Granted, it is the woeful Colorado Rockies and their pitching that he was facing, but hey, I'll take it. I mean, it's better that you started him off against the Rockies instead of bringing him up and starting him off against the Dodgers, which we got swept by earlier in the week,
or the Blue Jays, who are 9-1 in their last 10 games.
Yeah, exactly. So let him ease his way in. Got a win in his first major league game, and I'm happy to see he's here. He's I saw him make a play yesterday to home plate.
Yes.
And I said, damn, Tim would have botched that throw.
If he didn't, it would be a strong possibility. And you see the baseball IQ of Colson Montgomery. He looks comfortable.
Yeah.
The moment is not too big for him. And maybe because he waited so long. All right, maybe you know what I mean? Maybe he waited so long and he's like, damn, I want to get up there. I got to get up there. but he looks comfortable, man. He looks really comfortable,
man.
and he looks like a guy that we can build around. All right, just another piece to this squad that we're building. We have a lot of young talent, but the moment is not too big for him, and for that I like.
Absolutely, man. I like that tandem of him and Miguel Vargas at third. I'm also not mad at Miguel Vargas as first base either, but I like the tandem of Vargas at third and Montgomery at shortstop. I think those guys could definitely do some damage at the plate. Just have to work with them a little bit more, get them, more used to major league pitching. They just got to see more and more pitches. And at this point with Colson, it was like, okay, he's as good as he's going to get down here in AAA. And kudos to the White Sox. He had some struggles earlier in the season, and they pulled him and brought him back to the compound in AZ, worked on his swing, got him back where he needed to be, and now he's here in the show, man, and I'm happy for him.
I am too. Like I said, I was anxious to see how a couple of years ago how it would play out, but like you said, Tim took care of that by himself, and I'm happy for the kid. Now he doesn't have to play in the shadow of Tim Anderson. You know what I mean? All-star, 300 hitter. He doesn't have to play in that shadow. That shadow's gone. Now he can just be him, and that's the most important thing that you want from players is to be you, be who you are. All right, dance with who brung you, play the way that got you drafted. Right?
Absolutely.
Don't change that when I got to become a power hitter. I got to hit more home runs. I got to do this. I got to make the fancy play. What it seems like, if you make the routine play on a consistent basis, you'll be an all-star and probably a Gold Glover. Give me one or two highlights and cool. And that's even better. That's buttermilk icing on the cake. But if you can't make the routine play, like that was TA's biggest problem. So many times, get it, scoop, everybody like, damn it, there were 2 outs. Now you give an extra outs. Make the routine play. And
Tia really struggled with those plays at the plate too.
Yeah. So I'm really happy for this young man, and I hope that I hope that his career really has a great trajectory. Talk to me about their only All-Star this year, Shane Smith, Rule 5 draft selection. Nobody wanted him, and his first Sox rookie pitcher. Talk to me about him making the All-Star team.
Well, if there's one thing the White Sox consistently do right, Shawn, is they draft and develop pitching. And so they found a diamond in the rough in Shane Smith and polished that rock up, and now you have an all-star, a rookie all-star, and it's great to see because he's definitely somebody that this team is going to build off of, our ace in the making. And it's great to see. It's great to see that he's getting these flowers right away. And not only the organization, but the league is letting him know, like, okay, we see you, Shane Smith. We see you. What's up, Marshawn?
He's had a last couple of rough outings. I think, pardon me, he got selected because of the beginning of the season. His ERA was in the 2s, and he got out of jam after jam after jam, and he didn't look rattled. I remember watching him because, real quick side note, he's from Massachusetts. One of my best friends from college, he played with her son growing up through grammar school, high school, that whole thing. So they know the Smiths. They know him. I was like, holy cow.
Okay. Wow.
So I would send her, when I remember, I'd send her, when he pitches, give her his pitching line and everything. And then yesterday I sent her the clip that we had a few minutes, a little while ago with the announcement that the White Sox put out. And she just thought it was the coolest thing because she's known him growing up.
Right. Knows an all-star.
Yeah. So that's pretty wild. And the last couple games though, he's been touched up a little bit. Last 5 games, I think he's given up 5 earned runs or more. What do you think he needs to do to settle down to get back on the track that he was to start the season?
I think, Shawn, one thing that would help him is maybe a little bit more run support from his teammates. Might help kind of ease his nerves a little bit. Over the course of 162, and you're pitching, whatever 30 of them, your team isn't going to come through with a ton of runs every time. But some run support would be nice for him to kind of help keep him settled so he can keep his mind on just delivering strikes. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he's just got to know and stay confident. Listen to what his coaches are telling him. Listen to what Ethan Katz is telling him, and get more comfortable with his catcher as well. It seems to work good with Caro. So we'll see. Like I think he's the guy who's going to pick his catcher that he's most comfortable with, and and of course you have to give some room for a learning curve, because the league is going to learn him a little bit, and then he's got to relearn the league a bit, and this is to be expected. But I think as the season progresses, he's going to settle in. He's going to return to that early season form, and there's no question why he's an all-star.
This team is they were what, 420, I wanted to say, and I could be almost. I know it would probably changed in one-run games. Are they going to? Do you see this team gelling and starting to become more coming out of the other side of these one-run games in the win column as the season goes on, or do you still think that they're going to be struggling in these one-run games because of the fact that we have so many young, first and second year players?
It's kind of a twofold thing, Shawn. I think they're going to come out on the winning end on more of these towards the end, as you see teams start to get tired as this season progresses. It's a long season. There's a whole lot of baseball left. And so once the playoff picture is starting to get set, you're going to see some maybe a bit of a lack of an effort from some other teams, in which we're going to be the recipient of some wins because of that. And a little bit more experience. I don't expect that from this team. I don't expect Will Venable to take his foot off the gas and not try to get as many wins as possible. Between other teams tiring out and this young team just kind of learning how to win a little bit more together, I think they're gonna come out on top of some of those games towards the end of the season. I wouldn't say a lot of them right now, because again, they are a young team. Young teams have a hard time finishing games. That's just the way it is sometimes, Shawn. So I wouldn't expect a ton more of wins, but I expect them to get a little bit better. Just as they've gotten better as the season has progressed, I expect them to progress as the season finishes out.
I hope so. You know what, and I think I might be a little more optimistic, maybe because I'm more of a homer and you're more of a realist. But I do think that this.
I am definitely a realist / pessimist. I'll take the pessimist label. I'll take it.
I just think
cautious.
that these close games, like you talked about, experience, and the fact that they keep bringing these kids up, like you grow together. You know what I mean? I remember when I was at Sox Fest a couple years ago. Remember the last time they had it to the public and not at the Ramova Theater? Frank Thomas was in one of the auditorium halls, and we were speaking, and he said, "This is with TA, Yo-Yo, Eloy, and those guys." He goes, "Put them in Double-A together." He said, "Put them in Double-A together." He goes, "And move them up together." He says they need to learn how to play, all right, with each other from now. He says, so when they get to the bigs, there's no adjustment period. All right, they get to the bigs, there's a chemistry there. And I think you start to bring Kyle Teal, that youngster can rake. All right, Carroll, youngster can rake.
Yes.
All right, Chase Madraw. All right, the kid's not going to, I don't think he'll be an all-star or perennial all-star, but the kid's got a baseball IQ that's. And
he will be a great middle infielder, middle infielder for absolutely.
And so you start bringing these youngsters in, and they start to gel. And I think the biggest thing to me, and I was sad not sad, but a little annoyed with the hire. But give me your thoughts on the manager, because you mentioned him earlier, Will Venable. Give me your thoughts on how he's doing and how he's keeping his foot on the gas with these youngsters and instilling the fundamentals. We see a lot of fundamentally sound baseball with this team. Can that be sustained for the rest of the year?
I think so. I think Will Venable has this locker room, and I think these guys are on board with what Will Venable is putting down. And you see it night in and night out. It doesn't always come out in the form of wins, but you see it in the form of effort. and we haven't seen effort and making the right play like this in a few years from this team. And we've seen more talented teams than this one not be as smart as this young team that we have right now. And I give so much of that to Will Venable. I got to give it to Chris Getz for picking the right guy. He picked a good teaching manager. You don't need a guy who's ready to win right now. You need a guy who can develop and teach now, and a guy who can be fluent with his lineups, getting these young guys in and out of the lineup, up and down from AAA, and he's finding playing time for all of them. And I give so much of that to Will Venable. I was on the fence about the hire. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? But like he's doing his thing. I like he's got a good demeanor. Sits there with his Ray-Ban Wayfarer shades in the dugout, and he's calling his shots. And he seems like he respects the other guys who've been there longer than him. Seems like a real respect between him and Ethan Katz, and allows Ethan Katz to do his job. And I got good things, good vibes from Will Venable. It's hard to say, is he going to be the guy to take them over the top?
That was my very next question. Is he A to B, and we need to get a B to C guy, or is he an A to C guy? Is he the guy to take it? Finish your thought.
We're always used to there being the A to B guy, and then we expect the B to C guy to come and take him over the top. But I say, hey, I would have, in hindsight, wouldn't you have taken Ricky Renteria one more year than to have brought in?
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not going to be too quick to go to like, oh, we got to get the next guy to, now that we're ready, we got to get this new guy to come and take us over the top. Like, well, let's pump the brakes. This guy's got us there. Let's maybe give him a shot, to grow along with the young team. He's a young
Ozzie was never a manager before.
Ozzie was never a manager before either. So exactly. So give this guy the shot. You know what I mean? And again, I think we learned from the catastrophe that was Tony La Russa that don't be so quick to. Not everything turns into Ricky Renteria to Joe Madden. That doesn't always happen. That, you know what I mean? And we can't just assume that that's going to be the case here.
I wonder if Ricky Renteria avoids Chicago at all costs. Like, he won't even have a connecting flight out of Chicago.
Right. Just bad vibes from both organizations.
I'll be rerouted 4 of the stops. Just do not stop me at O'Hare Midway. Just do not.
Man, Ricky's boys. He's like, wow, man. He's like the Mark Jackson when Mark Jackson was to Golden State. Just did all of the grunt work, but just never reaped any of the reward.
Dude. Hey, Emilio, great stuff, Papa. Hey, we still got to go. We still got to catch a game. We got to catch a Tuesday game. I want that $5 menu.
All right, yeah, that sounds great, man. Especially if we can catch a daytime game, that would be ideal.
But hey, do me a favor before you go. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
You can catch me this Thursday on Plunked at 9:00 Central, along with my partner Kristen Stats. Plunked comes out through the Chicago Clubhouse Network, so you can catch us there on YouTube, on Facebook, and all your other services. And we'll see you this Thursday, 9:00.
Good stuff, Papa. I can't wait to hang out with you, have another beer. And hey, damn well when I was in Wisconsin, I brought that flask, baby. Got
absolutely,
me
brother.
Big old lemonade. I drank some.
There you go. Hit him with that thunder lemonade.
I was feeling nice. Lemonade.
That cool, refreshing drink. So you got to be of a certain school of thought to even get that.
Big ups. I was feeling nice for Chicago when they came on, boy. I was feeling nice.
Big ups.
All right, man. We'll talk soon, bro. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Take care, Shawn.
Okay. Guys, that's Emilio Bucks from the Plunked and also the Bullspit podcast on the Chicago Clubhouse Network, talking White Sox with your boy. If you know that lemonade, that cool, refreshing drink. He just took me back on that one. That's awesome. And we're going to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my mans on the 606 media. Big Z himself, Jose Zuazo, is going to join us. We're going to talk a couple of things. We're going to talk a little White Sox. We're going to talk a little Bulls. We'll talk some Bears with them as well. All right, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport like that.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Everybody in a work zone is someone somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
Opens the scoring for the Lynx tonight. The two-time All-Star is showing that her game is dynamic. She can go inside and out on the three-point line as well. Elizabeth Williams goes glass. Lana Smith we didn't see after that. Lob pass. Reese kicks it out. Banham sets the three-pointer, and Rachel Banham drains it. Rachel Banham had 3 three-pointers. Reese with Collier guarding her, and Reese barrels her way to the hoop and gets the basket. A tough 2. With Courtney Williams saying, shout out to me, coach. Yes. I'm an all-star. Did she call her dad first, or did she call Coach Reed first? That's what I want to know. Onyenwere hangs, misses, but gets her own. Atkins. Oh, she banked it in. Ariel Atkins.
Apparently the bank was open yesterday. Welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those comes courtesy of the WNBA. Those were the girls yesterday in a rough one. A rough one. I remember checking the score, and they were up 11. Actually, they were up 13, I believe, at one point. And then all of a sudden they're down 7. Like, what the hell was that? Girls couldn't come away with the dub in Minnesota, losing to the Lynx 80-75. That was a rough one. We're getting our girl back, Camila Cardozo. King Booker World, your ex-wife is coming. Your future ex-wife is coming back to the team, and man, she was on one. Let me tell you, according to Alyssa Hirsch from the Chicago Sun-Times, all right, she says Camila Cardoso, she's coming back with a silver medal from the FIBA AmeriCup. The Brazilian team lost to America, the USA, all right, 92-84 last night. She ended the tournament with just one block shy of an all-time AmeriCup record and became the 6th leading rebounder in the event's history. All right, and she's coming back, and she said, according to her, she says Camila Cardoso was finding her rhythm with the sky, averaging 17 points over her last 4 WNBA games before she left to go with the Brazilian national team. So she goes to the Brazilian national team and does some work, and now we get her back. I'm looking forward to that. I am really looking forward to that. My next guest, good friend of the program and good friend of mine. We've had a drink or two throughout the years. And he is from 606 Media and True Chicago Sports Fans. You can find him on Twitter at TCSF, True Chicago Sports Fans Pod. TCSF Pod. God, just welcome my man, Jose Big-Z Zuazo. Big-Z, what's up? How are you?
Great, man. I've been, I got on here a little earlier, so I got to see your other guest that was killing it with the White Sox content. So definitely excited to be on. This is always a good time. Always a good time to talk sports with you. But yeah, man, I've been listening and watching. Definitely a rough one for the Sky recently. I know they're 5-12. She's gonna we got Cardoso coming back. She's gonna come back strong. She was having a good week of basketball before she left. I just feel like that team is still finding their chemistry and their identity. They don't know who their go-to person is. And I feel like if everyone does what they're supposed to do, and like those two ladies can average a double-double, and if the guards can have a better production out of the guards, then they're gonna be okay. But right now they're infancy. They're in growing pains. They literally traded away every All-Star they had, and then they lost one to injury as well. So it's going to be a rough season for this guy. Let's just be honest. But everyone's worried about the knee bounce.
Yeah, but, and I love it, and I love the fact that she trademarked that term.
Good for her.
She embraced it.
Yeah.
And I love her. I wish she was like 6'5". 6'3" is good because she's one of the taller girls. But like the thing I love about Angel Reese, like she's nasty, she's gritty. Like you see her down there, it's like she'll hook you with the elbow to go up. Like I love that thing about her, and a lot of people want to call her dirty. But we had Charles Oakley, all right. We had Charles Oakley. We loved Charles Oakley. We had Rodman. We loved Rodman.
Exactly. What's going to be my comparison is because when Rodman and Oakley were doing that, we all loved it. But now because it's a female doing it, we're not going to be on board with it. She's a Chicago Sky. Like support your team. Let her do all the dirty work. Let her get her 15 and 15. Be happy about that. That's a double-double, man. It's hard out there. So I'm supportive of her, and I know people were very criticizing her because she gets her own me bounds. But you're supposed to follow your shot, are you not?
So that's what we were taught since grammar school. Yeah. And she made history. She was the first person in WNBA history to have 4 games of 15 plus rebounds, and she topped it. She says, "Hold on, I'm not done yet." So she got 17 rebounds yesterday, so now she has 5 consecutive games of 15 plus rebounds, and that's no easy feat. And especially when you're 6'3", I know it's taller than most of the girls, but you're still dealing with girls 6'5", 6'6", excuse me, even 6'7". If you go against Griner, you're talking almost 7 feet.
Yeah.
All right. So to get 15 rebounds, 5 straight games, man, this girl, you could talk all the shit you want about her. All right, but put some respect on her name. She's not afraid to work. We call her Barbie, and people talk about her red carpet adventures and her modeling gigs. She's a grinder, bro, and that's the thing that I really, really love is she puts in the work, and she's nitty gritty. She don't give a damn. She's ready to put a hard hat and lunch pail on, and she's ready to go to work.
Yeah, I want her to work on her mid-range game, so that way they can respect her. So that way she can drive to the hole at the same time. You have 2 facets of the game because she can rebound already, but if she can get that mid-range, 10, 12-footer that's automatic, like our old school Bulls centers used to have. Yep. You're Bill Cartwright, you're Bill Wennington. You look long, right? You knew as soon as Jordan passed it to him, 10-footer, automatic, and that's how they got their 10 points a game. That's what I want from Angel Reese. I want her to work on her shot this off season if they have one. And again, people don't know this, that they went from college to training camp to preseason to the season. Like they've had no time off. No other sport does that. So I can't wait till she has time to do some little R&R. Please, and I love that she's branding herself with the Me Bounds and the podcast. That's great. Brand yourself all you want, but I need you to work on your 10, 12, 15 footer so that way you can become a more diverse player and help out the team, because the team needs it. Right now, they don't have a point guard that's scoring 15, 12, or 15 at the 18 points a game to relieve some of that stress from the big girls. So that's what I want from her.
Yeah, and I think we also need to get a dead-eye three-point shooter. I think we need that, because when they collapse on Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso when she comes back, we need to be able to kick it out, and that's one of the things that we're missing. And we really need much better guard play, as you said. And I think if we do, if we get some good guard play, like I don't understand why they traded Kennedy Carter. I loved her. She was gritty.
Another dog. Dog.
Yes, that's exactly it. She's a dog.
Yes.
And I don't understand what the issue was. And I'm sure there's obviously a lot more behind the scenes that we don't know. But
yeah, she's not even in the league. She's not even in the league now. I think she was playing in China for a little bit, and then even there, she's not playing at all. So there's something behind the scene that's going on. But on the court, I loved her. I would go to the Sky games and I would see her play, and I'm like, ooh, she's a dog. And if she gets rolling, she gets hot, forget about it. Unfortunately, something's going on behind the scenes that's preventing her from being on the court. But I agree with you. They need more guard play. They need somebody that can spread the floor, that can shoot the three. They need a couple of those players. They're missing a lot of players right now.
They do. So it's fun, and I love supporting them. I love watching them. I bought my league pass last year, bought it again this year. So I don't want to hear people say, the girls need to make as much as the men. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Go support your team first. Go support, because there's not a lot. We need more women there to support your team. That's how they get paid.
That's exactly it, and that's why when I have arguments like, how many Sky games have you been to?
Exactly.
Do you have a T-shirt? Do you have a hoodie? Do you have a hat? No, huh? Okay, but you still want to talk shit. Okay, go support. So I've got my season pass last year, this year, and I'm definitely I want to get one of those black Chicago Sky shirts. It'd be dope. So it's going to be cool. And I love, and they're fun. They're really fun. And she's the thing about Angel is she's entertaining because she's polarized. Well, not just because she's entertaining and she's polarizing. Because you're expecting a double-double. You're expecting her to trip someone. You're expecting her to, a marginal moving pick. All right. And then these girls got to stop the flopping too. Like, stop. All right. You're not running into a 280-pound brick wall there. All right. Relax. Yeah. All right, this isn't Rick Mahorn setting a screen. Okay, it's Angel Reese. All right, stop with the and flopping. But they've all watched LeBron grow up, so what do you expect? But I digress. Yeah, I love it. I love the excitement. And I love the star power. And the way all eyes are on Angel Reese, and she knows it. She embraces it, and just keep playing, ma. Just keep playing. That's all I gotta say to her.
Definitely, she's got to keep playing.
Switch the topic. Let's stay with basketball.
Stick with basketball. All right, we're going to stick with basketball, which means we're going to talk about our Chicago Bulls. And recently they drafted a couple players, Noah and Sengage and Rocco Zagarsky. One player from Germany, one player from Australia. So they continue to go with the worldwide basketball, drafting or diverse players. I really wanted, what's his name, Queen?
Yeah, Dairy Queen.
Yeah, that's who I wanted, because that would have been great. He could have been sponsored by Dairy Queen, and he could have had like so much, like when we had Mac, he didn't even get a Big Mac deal. Come on, just missed the opportunities there. No, but I just felt like that would have been a better fit. He was more NBA ready at the moment. I feel like these two players that they drafted are going to be one of those developmental projects, right? I did say I saw Noah take an alley-oop from that 5'8" guard this morning, watching a little bit of clips at the Advocate Center. Yeah, so it was at the Advocate Center, one of the practices. It was a nice little alley-oop. But the guy's 5'8". I don't know how you're gonna make the team. I can't remember his name, but the Bulls are the Bulls. They're gonna stay stuck in the middle. They don't know what to do.
I agree with you. They're stuck. And AK told us, he's like, they're happy with my job. We're making the playout, the postseason. We've got to play in the last 3 years. We're making a postseason. Asses are in the seats. If you're a businessman, what more do you want? Asses in the seats.
Look who the owner is, right?
Yep, it's exactly what.
The family. So let's just, because I worked for both Jerry and Michael. So at the end of the day, it's are there assets in seats? Are people enjoying when they go to the game? Check.
Experience,
check.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So there was an interview where Jerry said, if you don't have to win a championship every year, you don't have to go to playoffs every year, but if you give them that little glimmer of hope, people will come back. That's what they're doing. And they do it to every single year, Chicago. They do it to us every single year. Oh, the Bulls start off rough. They go on a winning streak. Oh, Giddy hits a jumper, and everyone goes wild. That jumper cost us that number 1 pick.
Yeah. Like Red said in Shawshank Redemption, hope is a dangerous thing.
It sure is. And that's why
you should have said it's a profitable thing. It's a profitable thing.
For them, yeah. But it's not going to change until people stop going to the games. I remember when after the Jordan era, which was the baby Bulls, people didn't go. I would go just because I can get, front row seats for $60. Yeah. I would sit right behind the bench talking to the rookies, Tyson Chandler and Eddie Curry and all those guys for $60. That was a great time, But at the same time, I knew what the team was. I knew there was going to be a huge turnover. I knew there was going to be a huge dive in fandom. That's what needs to happen. When that started happening, then you had John Paxson take over, and they started drafting well. They started drafting gritty players that are from proven organizations. When I mean organization, we're talking about colleges. You had your Kirk Heinrich. Everyone loved Kirk Heinrich because he's a coach's son, so he's going to work his butt off. Ben Gordon, matured into a great shooter for us.
VG7.
They just, there was a couple mishaps in drafting. I don't want to go into that because we could have had Dwayne Wade and everybody else. But the Bulls are really going to be stuck in the middle until they change the way of running their organization. It's very similar to the White Sox, where we're running the same exact treadmill and expecting to be, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. It's not going to happen if you don't make changes. I like what the White Sox are doing. We'll get into that in a little bit, but the Bulls they just gave everyone an extension for sucking. I don't understand that
on a DL. That's all it is. When you gotta do shit on the DL, some shit's wrong. It's wrong because otherwise you want to say, hey, we extended such and such and such. No, that shit was on the DL. You didn't. They found out by accident. Like, whoa, hold on, what? This is the kind of way that they do business. Is just shady shit, and that's not cool, man. As a paying fan, come on, man, that's unacceptable.
It really is unacceptable because it was like you said, it was on a DL. It wasn't a public press release. I think one of the reporters just ended up finding out somehow. He probably asked somebody that was a staff or member or something like that. But it's really the Bulls' MO. Oh, we hired somebody and we're not releasing what the salary is. I'm sorry. We never knew what the contract was for the GM, for A.K.A. Eversley.
Yeah.
We never knew what their number was, how many years. Why do you have to work in secrecy? You're not Batman. Relax. It's okay. It's okay. What am I seeing? Yo, Big Z, vertical farm officer. If we look at the roster, they traded Lonzo Ball to Cleveland. I thought we got a good trade upside. We're taking about $1.1 million, $1.2 million in salary. Lonzo spent 2 years on the IL. It was time for him to ship him off. Was he integral in what the Bulls wanted to do? Yes, but he was hurt. And that's why your three-headed monster never worked, because the offense had to run through Lonzo Ball and no one else. Everyone else that they had on that team at that point was ball dominant, so it doesn't work. Now that he's gone, you're going to be able to see a little bit more of Billy Donovan's offense where it is moving up and down. So do not expect defense. You got rid of the ball and you got rid of Caruso. Do not expect defense. It's going to be run and gun, double dribble, let's go up and down. Don't even worry about it. And then we still don't know what's going to happen with Vooch. We got Kobe White possibly getting traded, Ayo Dosunmu possibly getting traded because they're on their last year of their contracts. Again, we're stuck in the middle and have no idea what we're going to do. Yeah, I
None.
agree with you. 32 games, sounds about right.
So let me ask you the question. I know a lot of people, especially my man Chris, I'll see in the comments, not a big fan of Billy. Do you like Billy, and do you think he's a good developer of talent?
No, I'm not. I've said it before. I think that he's great that he's got into the Hall of Fame, but at the same time, look what happened at OKC when he started getting big personalities. When he had Chris Paul there, he had a couple other big names there. That's when he came to the Bulls because I felt like he couldn't handle having those big star players. And we saw that happen with him and Zach. Him and Zach collided a lot. DeMar became the focal point, even though it was supposed to be Zach's team, because Zach's immaturity. They're like, all right, well, DeMar, you're taking the last shot. And that's when he had that career year. You're looking at not developing Dalen Terry, right? He was supposed to be a good player that's coming up. Io is kind of reminds me of Jimmy Butler, where he's put that work in on his own and better himself. But at the same time, like a lot of these players that they've drafted are just sitting on the bench, not doing anything. So I don't see where Billy's not that great of a coach. Not calling timeouts at appropriate times in the fourth quarter multiple times last season and the season before that. I don't know. There's for me, he doesn't do it for me. And I think they could have gone a better way with him.
Okay. So you're in step with Chris. I see. I'm okay with Billy.
Okay.
I'm okay with Billy because we've seen development in Kobe. We've seen, and contrary to, we've seen development in Dalen Terry. Now he's not nowhere near an all-star, but he's given us some minutes. We've seen development in Julian Phillips. All right, we've seen development in some of the younger guys to where they're in and they can contribute. Now, not putting them in all-star status on them, but I've seen that. And then obviously the big thing that people will always want to throw is the Patrick Williams. Well, he didn't develop Patrick Williams. Well, I think Patrick Williams has his own issues in between his ears. I think that's the big problem with Patrick Williams because we've seen him dominate in the summer league. We've seen him dominate when DeMar and Zach were hurt. We've seen him go ham, or he go into the second half, or he go into the subs, and he dominate against them jokers. Just like, okay, well, do that all the time.
Yeah.
Have that attacking mentality all the time. And I don't know if that's coaching, but I'm okay with Billy, and I just think I've seen him look at. It seems to me he develops young players well. Just look at his guys at Florida, going back to Florida. And the issue might be when you start to become a veteran with a voice and not really, and maybe thinking, I don't want to say thinking you're better than everybody, but maybe when you start to become a pro and maybe stray away from the fundamentals and want to do your own thing is when he really has issues with people. But I'm okay with Billy. I like him. I like the development of some of these young players. I just think we need a superstar. Who do you think the Bulls may target? Because we don't have any superstars. I would barely say Kobe White's a star, and that's barely.
Yeah.
Other than that, Matas has the potential to be in the superstar status, but give me another 2 or 3 years. The kid's 20 years old.
Yeah, we have a very young core, and again, if Billy got extended too, so we're here for the long run with everybody. So whether you like Billy or not, we're going to stuck with him for the next. I don't know. They didn't say how long it was, so let's say it's 3 more years. Yeah, we're stuck with these young kids and Billy for 3 more years, so we have to be encouraging to see if there's going to be development. Do we have a star? No. Can Kobe's a microwave. When he's hot, forget about it. The basket is good as big as the ocean. I wish Io, didn't get hurt. I think we would have better production out of him. Javon Carter, Maywood's best. Got sporadic time. Again, we Kevin Huerter, Zach Collins, I think they're great additions. Patrick Williams, how are you 6'7", 6'8", can't rebound, 10 rebounds a game. Vooch needs to be traded to a contender. And then if you're looking at superstars, we can only trade for a superstar. Superstars do not want to come here. And I don't see anybody in the NBA wanting to come here on their own volition unless they're at the end of the career. So I can't think of a name right now that would want to come here, especially with the roster that we have that is not capable of winning. Everyone is like going to Dallas, even taking pay cuts to go to Dallas, going to Houston, taking pay cuts to go to Houston to get one of those championships, going for a ring, right? We don't know what the Lakers or Golden State are going to do, but the West is heavy. Phoenix is rebuilding. Boston's rebuilding. You know, New York is probably the only team that can come out of the East, but they don't even have a coach right now. So yeah, they don't even have a coach. They have no leadership. So it's like Indiana is just lost the center power forward to Milwaukee, and you know
Miles Garrett. I mean, not Miles Garrett. Miles. I got Miles Garrett in my head. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. He just went over to play with Giannis. We don't know if Giannis is going to ask for a trade. You know, there's so much uncertainty in the NBA, but it is West heavy, and you know, Atlanta's rebuilding. Orlando has a young core. Orlando offered us for Kobe White. They wanted Kobe White. They offered us a couple of first-round picks, didn't they?
Yeah, allegedly, yes. Miles Turner, that's who it is.
Miles Turner, yes.
Thanks, Chris. Just put it up too. Thanks, Chris. Yeah,
thanks,
I just kept thinking Miles Garrett and his big ass.
You're a football guy. I get it. You like those big boys that hit hard. That's what it is.
What do you think, due to the you got Tyrese Halliburton out most of next, if not all next season, Indiana. They just got to the finals.
Yep.
Right? Jason Tatum out. Probably most, if not all, of next season. Out. Dame Lillard out, or I should say released from the Milwaukee Bucks. Do the Bulls, as constructed, do they move up a couple slots and get into the playoffs just because other teams are riddled by injuries? Do they get up into the 6th or 7th spot and avoid the play-in and get into, you know, the actual postseason?
I can see them doing that, where they can go on a small run, because the East is going to be so decimated with injuries. You got 3 main studs that really went down with the same injury. And I think I was watching a podcast with Kevin Garnett and who's the other fella on the Celtics? Paul Pierce. Yeah, they were talking about that these injuries may be due to the fact that they're just doing walkthroughs in practice, and they're not practicing hard on a day-to-day basis. And so what ends up happening is that because you're trying to go from 0 to 60 during a game and not practicing that way during practice, that, you know, you get these injuries that are happening to the players. That was their take on it. So because we don't I think our practices, and I've seen like videos of our practices, and they do go pretty hard. I can see the Bulls being a 6 seed. I can see them being a 7 seed. We're very guard heavy. So if we're able to move the ball and shoot it and play with that West Coast offense where we're running and gunning, yeah, I can see them going on a run, you know, 9 games of getting ahead of people. But at the same time, you know, and we don't have any bigs if they trade Vooch. And I don't think Vooch plays that big, because when he plays one of the elite bigs, he disappears. And Patrick Williams we're going to find out what Patrick Williams is this year, because if from my taste, if he can't produce this year, you've got to get rid of him, even if you got to eat that salary.
Yeah, Patrick Williams is the biggest bust in a while from this organization. He was their first overall pick, and that was, you know, that's probably the only reason he's still here. He was their first pick, loyal to that pick. They gave him a second contract.
They just gave him a second contract with nobody bidding on him. I didn't understand that. He was a restricted free agent. Let him see what the market is. Once you see what the market is, all right, if you want to keep him, pay him a little bit more. Give him an extra year, whatever it is. But there was no market for the kid because no one made an offer. And this is the thing the Bulls do. Remember Cristiano Felicio?
Yeah.
$22 million.
The Brazilian billionaire.
That boy made it big for sitting on the bench.
You know, and that's crazy. And it looks like the Bulls are learning, because now that they're doing the same, they're not doing the same thing with Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey is on the market. He's Mr. Ice Cube, Mr. Triple Double, and they're bidding against themselves. And according to what I was reading, like they said Grand Canyon size.
They're the Gulf of Mexico part. That's what they said. Yeah.
So they're so Giddey, and more power to him. You want to get as much money as you can. All right, and more power to the Bulls for being smart, not bidding against yourself, saying, all right, go see what you want. They signed him to that tender sheet, and now he gets to go see if you want him. And if no one picks him up, hey, you got him a much cheaper deal. It looks like they're, at least in this case, they've really learned from the past where they just outbid themselves and overpay these players. Give me your thoughts on Josh Giddey.
I think he's phenomenal.
I hated him. I couldn't stand him. I used to call him Sunshine from Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
I could not stand that dude. Every time he looked for, I got fouled. Like, just play back, go back and play defense. All of a sudden, he's like, oh, I bet. And he started putting up triple-double numbers, flirting with a triple-double every game. I'm like, okay, hold on, player. So give me your thoughts on him, because he's not even in his prime. The kid's, 23?
Yeah, all these players are 23, 24 and below. So, again, they have a good nucleus, but they're going to be small. And the thing is that those guys are streaky shooters. So if they can get Giddey back and he can average around a triple-double, that'll complement Kobe great if he's still here with us. Ayo coming off the bench and running that second unit would be great. Let him run the second unit. I think that's a perfect role for him. And then you have Matas, who's like the biggest wild card to complement Giddey. That boy can fly. And I feel like Giddey is a lot like Lonzo Ball, where he can run the offense and let others flourish through his play. So he's also a finisher, as we've seen. But I think if the Bulls are smart and do not overbid themselves and get over their skis, he's going to be here and it'll be great. I agree. The Paul. Remember the Paul? Stacey keep calling him the Paul. I'm like, nah. No. So I really think if they can build around him, if Giddey's going to be that player, we have to see that. How many times have we seen Bulls players that we've drafted go somewhere else and flourish? Larry Marketing went to Salt Lake City and was an all-star. Right,
Daniel Gafford got another contract in Dallas.
Yeah, and became a champion, right?
Buckeyes up in Milwaukee, Bobby Portis.
Championship. Yeah, Bobby Portis, right. You've seen these players that we didn't develop correctly go somewhere else and be like, oh, you're a dog. All right, cool. We love to have you over here. And, Tyson Chandler had a second breath of a career going over to Dallas and playing with Dirk, winning a championship over there. Again, like Bobby Portis going up north at the right time, because they were hungry, all those young bucks up there. So we've seen it. We've seen it where some of our guys go out there and do their thing. So I think right now what the Bulls need to do is be patient and see what the price is for Giddey. And I'd say let's keep him. Let's keep him.
I like him. He's really changed my mind a lot. I'm a big fan of Giddey. And he's great size, 6'8", 6'9". He ain't no small guard, which is probably one of these that helps him get those double-digit rebounds. And he's good on the break. I'm a big fan. He turned me around. I'm telling you, he really changed my mind on him, because I just did not like him initially. And then he was in a new place. He was trying to find his rhythm, get used to, get comfortable with his new team, and it takes time. It takes time. And once he settled in, man, again, he really made me believe that this kid can play. And again, he's not even in his prime yet. He's 23 years old, right? And one of the things I was talking about is, like, you still don't really know what he is. I mean, he's good now, but is he worth the $30 million? He may be, he may not be. And I think that there's an issue with college basketball, and a lot of people may not like the take, but I'm like, you should have him at least 2 years, maybe I'd say 3, just because you're getting so many youngsters who are, remember, you're coming from AAU ball. AAU, yes. They have no defensive.
No.
Give a damn about defense.
Nope.
All right, none. Okay, so now you're going to AAU, no defense. You probably, if you're the star of your team, your head coach, your high school team probably doesn't make you play defense. You go to college 1 year, you're not versed in becoming a fundamentally sound player of the year. Then you come in and you still need to be developed, and then you can't, because you're a first round pick making all this money and you need to contribute. I think the NBA is doing itself a disservice. Okay, and people say, well, if he can go fight in his country for 18, he should be able to, get drafted. I'm like, yeah, but you also need some training. Like, you don't just Like you can't go be a doctor at 18 because you want. You got to go to med school and lawyer. You got to go to law school.
Right.
I think there should be a minimum 2. All right. And especially now with the NIL, bro, because you can make more. You can make a hell of a lot of money in college. Stay there, get your fundamentals, and then come. And now the floor of the NBA is raised because you're coming in fundamentally sound, and the product is better. And that's the thing that I just hate these youngsters who come in, and it takes them a long time to get ready to get acclimated because their body's not ready. Not at 18.
Right.
Skinny dudes, look at Matas. You know what I mean? Look at Larry Markin when he got it. He was like Matas. Look at the Greek Freak like Matas. But it's time they have to develop in college. If they stay 2 or 3 years, now with the NIL money, they're making their millions, all right? And then you come in a much better player, and the NBA becomes a much better product. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like that.
No, I completely agree with you. Especially like you said, the NIL has changed everything. Now college is a business where I'm going to get paid to play and get an education, right? So I mean that is exactly what it needs to happen, because you got to treat these players now as a business, because you're paying them to come to your school. All right, then we're going to pay you to come to our school, but there has to be a 2 to 3 year commitment that you're staying here for the college to justify that we're paying you. Not only does that help the athlete get their bag for a certain amount of years, but also it creates a better product in the long run from the NBA, because now they're not having kids who have to be developed at a man's game. They will be men by the time they go up there, because at 18 you're still a child physically. Like you're not there yet. When they say they go to the NBA, that's man strength, right? And when they play Charles Oakley, you're like, oh, you got old man strength. Yeah, because he's put in the time in the weight room for 15 years, and he can move everybody around. And that's the biggest difference. Like you said, Tyson Chandler came in, he was a stick, right? And then by the time he got over to Dallas, he was nice and chiseled, and he put on that man strength, right? That the weight and the muscle to be able to play 82 games, to go through practice and do all the travel and the rehab and all. Yeah, again, it's a culture shock when you're treated like by the AAU teams, where they put you on a pedestal because you can score 15 or 25 points a game. And then you go to college and college coaches like, nope, we're running drills all defense. You're like, I don't want to be here. All right, cool. See you later. And that's that mentality, because I coached AAU, and it was, if a kid was good and the team was bad, that kid would leave and go to the good team, because I want to be a winner. I don't want to play on a losing team. Mm-hmm. And that's the mentality. That's the NBA. That's your Kevin Durant's, right? Just hopping around, hopscotching left and right, everywhere to a winner. He's a good player, but at the same time, you're just hopscotching and ruining every organization. He ruined Phoenix. He ruined Brooklyn. He's gonna ruin Houston when he's done there. Like, I just feel like he's going over there and he's like the plague. It just messes everything up. But I digress.
Yeah, we're cut from the same cloth, man, and I just think you're right. It sets a bad example, and it's not working for me here. I'm out. Mm-hmm. As opposed to making it work, as opposed to saying, okay, well, what do I need to do, Coach? What do I need to do?
Yes.
You need to do this, and this. Okay, Coach, bet, watch, and complete the task that's at hand. What you need to complete the things that need to be done for you to get more playing time and be more impactful on your team. But no one wants to do that. They want to come in and be stars and be catered to, and because they've had their own personal trainers since they were in 6th grade.
Yep.
And their personal trainer tells them they're great. Their personal trainer tells their parents they're great. Their parents tell them they're great. And any sign of adversity or someone not kissing your ass is, oh my God, I gotta go. He's a jerk. He doesn't know how to coach. And that's the wrong. This is the terrible mentality to teach and instill in these young men, because you're going to keep seeing people jump like we do in college. Everybody hops in that transfer portal. Yep. I didn't get any time. Okay, I'm out. I didn't get any time. I'm out. He got more time. He played one more snap than me. I'm out. Ridiculous. So moving on, guys, we're joined by Jose Big-Z Zuazo from the 606 Media Group and the True Chicago Sports Fan podcast, talking just Chicago sports. Talk a little Sky, talk a little Bulls. I want to talk a little Bears.
Okay.
We have an exciting season. All right. It's highly anticipated. All right, the Bears did a lot this offseason. I have to give Ryan Poles credit for what he's done. All right, why he didn't do it years ago, I don't know, but he's doing it now. He revamped the offensive line, got the 3 interior starters, new starters, traded for 2 free agent, signed 1 as a free agent, upgraded that offensive line big time. Yeah. And let's not forget, DeAndre Swift had 960-something yards behind that crappy offensive line. I'm excited to see what he can do. But more importantly, is Caleb. Give me your thoughts on Caleb this year. Now we got the offensive mastermind that everybody wanted. We got the dude who had the NFL's leading offense for the last year, a year or so. All right. Give me your thoughts on Caleb and what type of season you think he's going to have with this new offense.
Well, it's going to be his sophomore season, and it's going to feel like his rookie season because he has to learn a whole new playbook. He has a whole new offensive line. He's got, weapons that he's familiar with, and he's going to be able to use them a little bit more thoroughly, especially now having more time on the offensive line, fingers crossed. So, in my opinion right now, I think Caleb, he's in there with rookie camp and all these camps. He's at Hallis Hall all the time. So, I feel that he's putting in the work that he was supposed to be helped with last year that he was doing on his own. And he's like, screw it. I want to learn this on my own. I'm going to get there early. I'm going to talk to coach. I think he got a bad hand last year, and he's learning from that mistake. And I think that he won't be playing as much hero ball as he did last year because he's going to have to trust the offense that's going to be put in for him. I think he'll have a better season. I think he'll make better decisions. I think that because we have all these weapons that are going to be set up for him, it's going to allow him to have the time to say, I don't need to play hero ball and chuck the ball up as I'm getting, rushed by 5 defensive linemen. I can drop it off to Swift and let him take the hits. I can drop it off to Cole Kmet. Let him go over the middle. Let him take the hits. And that's what he needs to understand is like, you can move the offense at 3, 4, 5 yards, take a small bite. It's okay. And then you can go over the top. And then, then you can do a crossing route. You don't have to take the whole game on the first play. And I think that's what he needs to understand is that you can move the ball and hold possession, and you can win a game that way. You don't have to, give me all the flashing stuff and, running around like, a toddler who just stole cheese off the counter and running around in his diaper, like this. So you definitely need to, I think, play within the offense. And I think he'll be able to do that this season. Will he have great numbers? I don't know. That's good to be seen, right? Because it's a whole new offense.
I think you're spot on when you say he's got to learn to take the singles and doubles. Right? It's not a home run, not only triple and home runs all the time. Because the crazy part about it is you have yak monsters. You got, all right, let's not forget, Roma Dunze led the NCAA his last year at Washington. You got DJ Moore, Pro Bowl type player, legit #1 receiver. You got Luther Burden, who led the NCAA this past year in yards after catch. You have DeAndre Swift, who you tossed it to him, and you experienced it last year. You tossed it to him, and the dude ran for 30, 40 yards on a consistent basis. And then you just got Colston Loveland. So he's got to be able to take these singles and doubles and not go for triples and homers all the time because guess what? Those yards add up too. You might throw it behind the line of scrimmage, all right, but he runs 30 yards. That's 30 yards of your stats. And he's got to be able to get that out of. And the big thing about him is hopefully his mentorship or friendship with Tom Brady will teach him, don't take the hits. Throw the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
All right, chuck that sucker in the first row. You see someone coming, throw it out of bounds in the first row, give someone a souvenir. All right, and just don't take the hit and just stand up and stand up and be able to live and play another down. And because there's gonna my theory is this: if he makes that short game, hitches, slants, 5-yard ins, 5-yard outs, if he makes those automatic, it's going to do, in addition to the run game, which we're going to really lean on, it's going to make those Exactly. You're gonna have linebackers in. You're gonna have a big space between the linebackers and the safeties.
Yes.
Here's where the Luther Burden gets to go deep. Here's where the DJ Morris gets to go deep. And I think he's got to understand the one thing I don't know if he gets, it's methodical. If you throw the ball 10 times a game because you're running back 7 yards a pop, great. Hey, I threw it 12 times today. Guess what? We won. If they need you to throw it 35 times, great. But whatever it is, that game, whatever it is, that's what he needs to do. And according to his high school coach, who's a good friend of mine, we went to college together.
Okay.
Caleb is okay with that. He said he would throw the ball 15 times a game or 30. So if he has that same mentality, then this Bears team is going to be really, really, really fun to watch because basically whatever they do is wrong. And that's the mindset he's got to have. Whatever the defense does is wrong. You can't cover everything.
Yeah.
And if you want to cover, you want a cloud cover, so you get in the deep. Here we go, boom, to the sides. Oh, you want to bring some people in? I got guys behind you, and that's what he's got to do. That's what he's got to understand, that whatever they do is wrong. And the sooner he gets it, man, this kid can be something really, really, really special here in the Windy City.
I can't agree with you more because what ends up happening, like as these quarterbacks get older, they understand what they need to do not to get popped and say, I don't need to throw a 40-yard bomb. I can throw it to, 5 yards. Look, one perfect example is Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger. Those are two big guys, not mobile at all. Hey, 1, 2, 3 balls out of my hand. And whatever happens with that is your job now. You've got the ball. You got to get the yak. You got to, get away from the defender. That is on you now. I threw the ball away. The offensive line did their job. Everyone should be doing their job. So if you're running, like you say, make the defense make all the mistakes. I'm running my offense based on what I see. I'll make my decision there. So if they're playing tight, cool. Dump it over the linebackers. That's great. Or do an out or a slant, whatever it needs to do. Or you have a bubble screen, which I hate, but whatever. We have enough bubble screens with the Bears. But yeah, there's definitely ways of moving the defense to make them accountable, right? If like you're saying, they're gonna blitz. All right, cool. Give it to my running back. Let him make the play. And it's understanding that. And I get it. You're a football guy. You play football, so you understand that. But as a rookie, I'm pretty sure that there was some hurdles that you couldn't get past until you became an older a veteran player.
Yeah, and I'm really excited. And I've said this before. I'm excited for the 2026 season. Don't get me wrong. My feet will be in the 2025 season. But the 2026 season, when they don't have to learn a new offense, when he understands where he can hit Rome Odunze, where he understands he can hit DJ Moore, where he understands him and Colston Loveland and Komet are where they had success last year. I can't wait for that. I'm excited for this year because I want to see, just like Cub fans are like, when they drafted, they traded for the Bryants and the Rizzos and those guys, they had 2014, 2015. All right, before they got to 2016, you got to see him grow. Same thing with us with the Blackhawks when they drafted Taze and Kane, and we saw them grow. I think this is one of those seasons where we're going to see this team grow together. And I don't know, they have a shot to win, I believe, the NFC North. I think Green Bay, Love likes to throw the ball to the opposing team too much. Detroit lost their offensive and defensive coordinators.
Yep.
Okay, Minnesota, you got a rookie starting again, but he might, I'm a little scared of Kevin O'Connell because that dude is
yeah. Yeah. He is. I think the Minnesota Vikings are going to be the wild card of the North. I was going to call him the Central. I'm in baseball mode, and I agree with you. Like I think the kid in Green Bay throws it like Brett Favre. He's a gunslinger, and So I agree. This is a growth season for the Bears. I'm not expecting 12 wins. On a high end 10, on the low end 8. Well, what is your prediction?
And
it's early. I know it's super early, but how the team's constructed right now. How the team is constructed right now.
How they're constructed right now, double digits. Give me 10-7.
Yeah,
minimum 10-7. I think Caleb did his part last year to kind of hurt the team. I think he hated Waldron. He hated Eberflus.
Yeah.
And I think Caleb was petty enough to do shit like that whole Detroit thing. Like if you saw the look on Eberflus's face, it looked like he just got fucked. And I was like, damn, because they had 2 plays, but then why would you? They had the play called. Then remember, Caleb said, "Well, I changed the play." Why you changed the play? He had the play called. So there was a couple of things, but I think he really respects Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
I think he really loves the offense that he had. I mean, hell, they faced it twice a year. They watched it. You know, he's sitting on the sideline watching them go up and down the field. So I think he's a lot more friendly, coach friendly with Ben Johnson. And plus, Ben Johnson's a dog. He don't give a damn. He's going to tell you. And he's going to want things done a certain way. And I think Caleb responds to that. So I think Caleb is going to have a good season. I can see a 10-7. I say their ceiling would probably be the NFC Championship game. And that's if some people get hurt. Because I think Philly's still.
Philly's a monster.
You know, but I think they're ceiling, which means, hey, who knows if they get that far, you know, one quarterback goes down, all of a sudden now you're. So I mean, but I'm saying if all things, no one getting injured, I think their ceiling could be the NFC title game. That's the ceiling. I think it might be the division they lose there, but I think it's going to get Bears fans really excited and they're going to be really cocky after this season when they're like, well, this is only his first season. He ready to, we got 10 wins and he threw for this. What do you think his numbers will be? You think he eclipses that 4,000 yard, 30 touchdown mark? Those marks?
I mean, I hope so because last year, you know, and I'm watching the comments. No one's saying Caleb had a bad year. We're saying the organization had a bad year. Caleb had rookie of the year numbers. Okay, let's be honest there, right? You know, he was up there with the kid from Washington. Right? The only reason he got it is because they went to the playoffs. No other thing. I think he can eclipse the numbers of being a 4,000 yard passer, and I think he can do it. And I'd rather take the wins than those individual stats. I'd rather go to the playoffs than say, oh, you know, we're gonna go, you know, 7-10, and Caleb threw for 4,500 yards and 35 touchdowns, but we still lost because whatever. I'd rather take the wins and a playoff appearance and like a chip in the chair to get into the big dance, that over individual stats. And like we were talking about earlier, if he dinks and dunks and then goes over the top and takes, you know, throws it 15 times a game, and then we have 2 running backs that, you know, had 150 yards, let's go. You know, every game is going to dictate a different strategy. And right. It's gonna take the weather, right? Injuries, the type of defense that they're playing. It's gonna be a different strategy every single game. So I think that if he can give me 3,500 yards, give me 27 touchdowns, and, you know, single digit interceptions, that's what I'm hoping for.
I had this put up, and I asked my guys, I'm like, these are Jalen Hurts numbers last year.
Yeah.
Okay. 29-03, 18 tutties, 5 picks. Oh, yeah. He just happened to win that thing called the Lombardi Trophy. And I asked people, I said, would you be okay if Caleb averaged, say, 3,000 yards? Average 3,000 yards for the next 10 years, and 4 of the years we go to the NFC title game. I'd be happy as a pig in slop.
Right.
Those are that's being a football smart person. That's having a football IQ. Because I don't give a damn, and I know you don't either, about the stats. I don't give a shit if he throws for 4,000 yards or 5,000 yards like Marino. Marino got to the Super Bowl once, never went back.
Right.
All right. I want us to be in a position where everyone's like, okay, well, we know the Bears are going to be at least in the division round. We know that. Okay, who are they going to face? You know how we are with Kansas City. Like, all right, we know Kansas City's going to most likely be in an AFC title game, but at least the division. That's where I want us to get to. And if it comes on the backs of the offensive line and the running backs, I'm cool. People forget the 85 Bears. Jim McMahon broke tons of records and passing records in college.
Yep.
Tons of them. He could air it out. But he came here and they asked him to do something different. I hope they asked Caleb to do something different. And then when we need a big play, make it. And if he accepts that role, here's your assignment if you choose to accept it. I think this team is going to go really, really, really far because you're going to be so worried about DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. We're going to talk about him in a second too. You're so worried about that. Roschon Johnson on short yardage downs. And you're so worried about that. All of a sudden, oh, shit, we forgot about the tight end who just hit over the linebacker in front of the safety. And there goes Colson Love, and there goes Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
Or there goes Luther Bird behind the deep safety in the cover 2 because they're worried about them getting gashed on the ground. This is what I want us to see, and this is what we saw in Detroit. And if they can replicate that, I'm telling you, Caleb can do a lot of really, really great things here as long as like The Rock said, know your role, jabroni, and shut your mouth. Just do what they need you to do. This kid can be special, man, real special.
Yeah, I can't wait. It does feel like it's something special. And again, we don't have a lot going on in Chicago right now, so we have a lot of hope. Bringing it back to the Bulls, lots of hope. But I think with the Bears, there's actuality. There's action going on. We see what the front office is doing and saying we're going to put our money where our mouth is, and we're finally going to invest in the offensive line. We're finally going to invest in a good coach and good hires and adding all this because Ben Johnson came in and said, I need this, and this. This is how I want to run it, like a professional NFL team. So we're no longer the mom and pop shop. We're gonna show everybody in the NFL that we're coming. We're coming.
Yeah, I agree. And are you okay? See, and I'm okay. Like Shorty wants the 4,000-yard 30 passer. I do too, and I think he can get it. I don't think it's that big of a. I mean, he had 3,500 last year, and he had a horrible offensive line, took 850 sacks. Okay, I think that's a big part of it. I think my biggest thing is just understand. Like, it's got to be balanced. And you want to have great quarterback, but you don't want to have to, at least not the first year or two. I don't want to have to win because of Caleb. Let's win with Caleb.
Yes.
And then his third year in the offense, then we'll win because of him. Once he has it down pat, then we'll win because of him. But just don't stray from the formula just because you got a great player.
Yes.
Just don't stray from that formula. And let's talk about, before we let you go, what other areas do you think need addressing? People talk about the running back room, and they said, like, well, you know what, this guy's a 7th round pick, and blah 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 blah, and we should have got someone else. Give me thoughts on Calvin Ungai and his ability to really make an impact on this team this year.
I think that kid's going to be hungry because everyone's counting him out. I think he's going to be one of those guys that you're like, oh my God, this is what Roschon Johnson should have been. That's exactly what's going to happen. And Roschon Johnson is going to lose his spot. I don't know what's going on with Roschon Johnson that he wasn't, appearing. I don't know if he had concussion syndrome or I have no idea what was going on with him. But DeAndre Swift, came up with great numbers with a crappy line. And I think Kyle Monungai is going to be a change of pace guy that's going to be able to change the game for the Bears. Really, I really do. I think those two guys are going to be very quietly underrated for the first 6 games, and then the NFL is going to notice, like, oh wow, look what they're doing over there in Chicago.
They're 5th in the NFL in rushing, 4th in the NFL in rushing. Who do they have over there? They know they got DeAndre Swift, but who else? And that's where it's going to come up.
That's the guy. And another wild card is Ian Wheeler.
Yes,
right? That's another wild card right there. So you definitely have. He's coming back from that injury, and you also have Travis Homer, who's a dependable guy there, and Deion Hankins. So they have a good running back room. Is it great? No, I don't need it to be great. I just need it to complement the offense that we're going to be running. Be able to run the ball 4 yards a carry, be able to block for Caleb, be able to block in passing scheme, be able to, go out into the flat and catch a pass and go down 15 yards. That's what I need the running back room to do. That's all I need you to do. I don't need a 5,000 rushing yard season from you guys. I need wins, and whatever may take. If it's cold and snowy and at Soldier Field, well, you're going to get the workload. I don't want Caleb getting hit in the snow and when it's cold. I don't want him taking a blindside hit. I need you running the ball. I need you to run it for 25 times and take possession of the clock, and we're going to run it down their throat, and they can't do anything about it because we have a great running back room.
My biggest thing with Calvin Ungai is his ability to pass pro. That's the thing that really got me excited, and his ability, and because he wasn't playing in the Big Sky or the MEAC or the, or the Atlantic 10. He's playing in the Big Ten. He led the Big Ten in rushing 2 seasons ago. He was, I think, second this past season. So you're not playing. You're playing big boy ball, You're playing against guys who are going to be playing on Sunday. And for you to be able to do that, that speaks volumes. And thank God you got a guy like that. Because I said he's an Ashton Genty without speed. He just don't have that speed. He's got great contact balance. Doesn't go down. I mean, you need to you can't just give him a shoulder. He's not falling down. You got to wrap up and bring him to the ground, which is great. So, and then Ian Wheeler, I'm really hoping, because he's our home run hitter. That dude got some speed. Hope he should be recovered from the ACL, and hopefully he's got that top end speed again. And man, with an addition like that to that room, whew, I'm excited. Last question before we let you go. Talk to me about the left tackle position, man. There's a lot of, there's Braxton Jones in the last year of his contract, but he's coming back from an ankle injury. And then you have Kieran Amagaji, who got exposed because they didn't develop him. Say, hey, go play against a Pro Bowler, your first start. And then you got the Ozzie Trapillo, guy from Boston College. Your thoughts on the left tackle position? Who do you see winning that competition?
To be honest with Shawn, I hope I just need somebody who can do their job. I don't care what the name on the back of the jersey is. I just need a left tackle to take care of Caleb. That is it. I don't really care what the name on the back of the jersey is. I'm sick of our quarterbacks getting clobbered. It's disgusting what we've been doing for years to our quarterbacks. And it's sickening, right? So to be honest with you, me and you will both be at Bears camp. We'll see what these guys are doing. We can break down all that film later on. But right now, I just hope that someone can step up and take that position, take it with pride, and be the eyes behind Caleb's head. I just need somebody to do their damn job there. And the back of the name doesn't bother me, man.
Cool. Big Z, great stuff, Papa. I appreciate it taking time out this morning. It's good talking to you.
Man. Lots of fun, man.
Yeah, I know. We can't get you during the school year.
Yeah, you got me through the summer. Yeah, I got another month before I go back and turn myself into the warden.
Hey, great stuff. Before I let you go, though, do me a favor. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Oh, great. Thanks. You can find my personal stuff at Big-Z_66 Media. And then everything else is at True Chicago Sports Fans. You find us on every single platform. We are live. We'll be live tonight, 7:30 every Monday. We go live from 7:30 to about 9:30. You can find us on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff. So True Chicago Sports Fans. And if you want, just follow us on 606media.com. You can find every one of our shows there. They'll be posted right after we're done with them. And then if you want to contact us, they're right there. So thank you, Shawn.
Hey, good talking to you, Papa. We'll be in touch soon. Thanks.
All right, so later.
All right. Guys, that's Jose Big-Z Zuazo, my guy. Like I said, we've had a drink or two together throughout the years. Talking sports. And he's one of the guys like I love talking because he talks all sports. All right, you get a lot of times you get a guy who's just a Bear guy or just a Bulls guy or just a baseball guy. Or just a hockey guy. No, I like being able to talk and just switch from team to sport to sport to sport to sport. And it's more entertaining for me that way. But, man, listen, 2 hours is coming and gone. I want to thank my guest, Emilio Bucks from the Chicago Clubhouse Network. He's a host of the Plunked podcast as well as the Bull Spit podcast. And then my guy, Big Z. We just talked for almost an hour. All right, talking his various sports. I want to thank him. He's from 606 Media and a true Chicago sports fan podcast. I want to thank those guys for coming on. It was a great show. Hope you guys were entertained because I sure as hell was. It was one heck of a show. But listen, I tell you every time I party, let your loved ones know you love them because tomorrow is promised to no one. All right, damn well I'm going through right now with a good friend of ours from CrossFit who passed away last Saturday. All right, time waits for no one. All right, let's have a great day, and it's going to be a little cooler today, which is great. All right, the weather's going to get back up later in the week, but enjoy the weather. Summertime shies in full effect. Meet up with your peoples, breakfast, lunch, brunch, dinner, drinks, happy hour, rooftops, patios. I'm telling you, make time for your people, all right? Because all you're going to have left at one point is memories. So make as many as you can. All right, we're going to replay this at 6 tonight. At 12 o'clock, we're going to have Lakina and Sydney on Second City Sports coming through. All right, make sure you hit the like button. I love you guys. I appreciate the love and the support. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and I am